All right, we're here, we're live. It's Wednesday, which means that it's time for our deep dive into all things paranormal, strange, and unexplained. It's time for Into the Macabre. I am Cerventes, and with me, returning for some reason, we have...
RissaHavok, it's me.
Woo! We did it. We're back for episode 12 now. Last time we were looking at all kinds of things, cryptids, and just stuff that generally actually went bump in the night, which is a surprisingly high and low number of things. But we're here, we're back, and we have a whole new way of doing this now. We're gonna have, it is basically a whole new world because we have structure this week.
Structure? What's that?
I know, these are normally the most unstructured things imaginable, but this week we actually have a little bit of structure. We're going to be introducing the format, so we are going to be jumping in with shorts as usual. Just go over some shorts, some fun little clips that we found, and once again, we are always asking that if you have something you think would fit in on the show, join the Discord. Go to the Into the Macabre channel and send us stuff that you think would be cool for the show. Even if we don't feature it, we'll watch it and maybe talk about it in the Discord. Maybe we will talk about it in the Discord.
I want to hear all of the spookiest, wackiest, zaniest shit. So get in the Discord, drop some links, please. Entertain me.
Drop links, give us stories, and trust me, after you see today's feature, maybe you'll realize that stories can be more important than clips and videos. But first, we were just talking a little bit before this just to catch up because we both play spooky games and watch spooky things. So, for me, I just checked out Routine this past week, which that's up on the YouTube channel now, up on the VOD channel. We played Routine. It turns out Routine might not be that scary, but hey, who knows? Maybe you'll feel otherwise. And Rissa, what have you been up to?
So over on my channel, I've been playing Resident Evil Requiem for the first time. I did take a little bit of a break because Fatal Frame 2 remake came out. And Fatal Frame 2, if you guys don't know, is my favorite horror game of all time. So when a remake was announced, I was like, I'm playing it on day one. So I pretty much blasted through that game for 2 weeks, and now I'm back to Resident Evil Requiem. So if you like spooky Japanese ghost stories, check out Fatal Frame 2 or check out my VOD over on my Twitch channel. But I also, I play games like Resident Evil. I also play games like indie horror games that you probably have never heard about. So you're bound to find something that you like.
Question, did you play PT?
Yes, I did play PT. A couple years ago, I actually got access to it. Yeah, and I played it.
Oh, well, what if I sent you a little zip file that had the Unreal Engine remake of PT?
Wait.
Someone did that. Someone did it a while ago, and it's floating around.
Well, now I'm like, wait, did I actually play that version, or did I play? Does it look different than the original?
It kind of looks the same because it's Unreal Engine and it looks more or less the same.
Well, send it to me.
It plays a little differently because obviously you don't have the controller that talks to you. But either way, it's a cool thing. So look at that, guys. Okay. Plenty of horror to go around for any horror enjoyers. But of course, we also do plenty of other fun stuff over here on my side of the fence. You can find a lot of Marvel rivals screaming, creaming, memeing, talking about all kinds of silly bullshit. And over on Rissa's side of the fence, you got a lot of...
I don't know, just dumb fart jokes and me screaming a lot.
Perfect! Who doesn't like that? I know there's also a lot of cozy stuff over there, farming, survival crafting.
RV
some
there
friend slop.
Yeah, I played RV there yesterday for the first time, and that was a lot of fun. So I do play also other stuff, and not just multiplayer horror games, but multiplayer games. I've played Valheim, I've played Stardew Valley, Animal Crossing. I'm kind of that spooky cute kind of vibe, so you're gonna find all sorts of weird, wacky things on my channel.
You know what? There's never anything wrong with that at all. But now we're going to get into the main event. So we have been going through some clips and we've pulled a bunch of shorts, some short form content, mostly from TikTok this week. We had no YouTube shorts this week. But we're gonna take a peek at the stuff we've been sent, and we're gonna be going through with a normal structure. So like we said, first we're gonna go into shorts, and then we got some structure that we're gonna finally talk about, something that it's been a long time coming and I've been talking about a lot. But let's jump right into the shorts. And first up, we got submitted from Westphal, actually. Westphal hanging out in the chat right now. The co-creator of the show will hopefully be back one day to turn this into a menage a trois. And this is Mothman.
Not a
in
menage
California.
a trois. Not that.
Oh boy.
We're on the wrong channel for that.
Oh yeah, sorry, it's the wrong website. All right, well we got
wrong site, my dude.
Mothman in California.
Oh shit.
Possibly the best Mothman footage ever recorded.
Oh.
Those eyes.
Wow.
This is almost adjacent to something we'll be talking about later tonight.
All right.
Mothman in California.
So, like, totally fake. That's a dude with, like, some glasses on, right? But kind of cool, though. Like, honestly, if I were just, like, taking a walk by and I saw that, it would freak me the fuck out.
Yeah, like, that's definitely, if you're walking by and you see the glowing eyes of the trees. Yeah, and you know what? Chat's pointing out, why is Mothman in Cali? Why, he's supposed to be like a West Virginia guy.
He's on vacation. What?
Well, maybe he's on
vacation.
vacation, yeah. I mean, like the Mothman statue with a great ass that we talked about last time as well. That great ass is still over in that town, but you know, he just decided to come to this one tree in California.
This one tree.
Yeah, he's hanging out with this one tree.
Random ass park.
It was park or backyard or whatever this is. What the hell is this? Like, what's going on with this, like, fence? Like, where are we?
I have no idea. Like, are these like those, what is that?
It's a wire. Okay, these are posts, and there's a wire. There's 3 wires. But so, and this looks like, I mean, this is some kind of a building.
Yeah.
But
this wiry fence, though, seems dangerous. Like, I hope this isn't a park or something.
I hope Mothman's all right. I hope Mothman doesn't get stuck. I hope Mothman doesn't get stuck in the wired fence. Yeah.
I hope he made it home.
All right, but that was from the channel crime.stories39. Once again, thank you to West for sharing that with us. Next, from one of our favorite channels, Real Horror Talk, we have we've talked about stealth camping a lot. Guys, don't go stealth camping because bad stuff usually happens. And this is a pretty crazy scenario being shown to us from Real Horror Talk. It's muted, apparently.
On August 7th, this stealth camping encounter was posted by Preston Goes. I'll tag him below. And in the video, he documents how he built his own stealth camping dumpster. And essentially, it had a false bottom, allowing him to sleep undisturbed. In addition, it was fitted with surveillance cameras on the outside, which allowed him to make a command center, giving him the ability to see outside. Now, Preston is...
Now, first, I just want to also preface, like, usually stealth campers are not this well equipped. This is like taking stealth camping up like exponential levels. Because normally it's just literally...
Like, is it normal for someone to like build a bed in a dumpster? Like, is that normally, how stealth we're going?
Maybe it's a guy in a tent in the woods, in like a private woods or someone's backyard, or camping out in a store. So stealth camping, it's just basically illegally camping anywhere. But this is taking it to a whole new level. But typically you'll see people stealth camping, like sometimes there's prank channels being like, we stealth camped in Walmart overnight and stuff like that. So you shouldn't be, it's places where you shouldn't be, or private woods, places, again, just you really shouldn't be there. So in this case, yeah, maybe you shouldn't be in a dumpster, but he made his own command center and took that up a few notches.
An engineer and doesn't make horror related content, but when 2 strangers approach his camping setup, He's left terrified. Take a look.
First, hold on real quick.
What? Wait, that bike had antlers.
Is rolling up. This is the best part. Like, fuck the whole situation. Oh, I gotta remember. I gotta censor that out later. But screw the part with the fact that this is scary. Like, the situation is scary because you don't know what people are capable of. But bro's rolling up on a bike with antlers on it.
Yeah. What? Like, what?
It's so good. That's power.
He's also like, what?
This guy's face. Oh, so this guy's backpack, he got roller skates tied to the back.
Hey, there's a camera in this room. Oh,
Oh.
no.
If you're right, it is kind of messed up if you're spying on somebody.
Yeah, but what is he doing messing around with the
Now,
dumpster?
at this
That's
point,
also
they've
illegal.
not only discovered his setup, but they've begun dismantling it. And once they pull back the top layers, this happens.
And when you think about it, who's going to go into a dumpster? But clearly these guys are.
No, I didn't what the f is somebody hit? Somebody's house? My bad. I'll close it for you. Closer, bro. That's cool. There you go. My bad. Here you go. Right on, brother.
Right on, brother!
Now, Preston explains that in the moment, he had no idea what to do, but he was grateful that these guys weren't dangerous. But if it were you, what would you do in this situation?
Not go in the dumpster. I would not go in the dumpster. I would not investigate further. Like,
Yeah, I mean, first off, being a guy in the dumpster, yeah, that's not a great place. Because, yeah, what if these guys were malicious or gonna, like,
yeah,
these guys seemed kind of like in good states of mind. And they seemed totally chill also. But like, if it was someone malicious down on their luck and they found all that stuff, I mean, you don't know what the reaction's gonna be.
right. I'm just wondering, like, what were they even doing there? Like, you know, like, do they live there? Are they just dumpster diving? I don't know. And then you're concerned about a camera, but you're getting into a dumpster. I think this is terrifying to me. I would never do something like this. Like, this is incredibly dangerous, because you don't know who's just gonna walk up. Like, yeah, it could have been some dude dumpster diving, and then he sees a camera and he's like, oh, I'm gonna steal this. Let me see if there's more in there. You know, what if he has a weapon?
Exactly.
Where did he get the antlers for the bike?
Yeah,
I'm still stuck on that.
This dude showing up with his antler bike, and like that guy, you don't know where he got that. Like that, you don't know how hard that guy is. That could be like the realest dude who's going around with a bike like that. I feel like the reaction also, like, where he's like screaming and shouting, that definitely could scare somebody away. And in this case, it clearly worked.
Yeah.
So like that was not a bad reaction, because if he was just like, "Hey man, I'm recording something right now," and they could easily be like, "Why are you spying on me?" Like, you know, it could be any number of different reactions.
But they just thought it was like a homeless dude who just built a house in a dumpster, I guess, which is wild.
Yeah, it was pretty silly.
That would make me very scared, though, in this guy's position. you know, because you don't know what's going to happen.
And we've seen crazier instances of stealth camping before, where there was a guy just on a site illegally, and then there was someone that was actively, and you don't know if it's staged or not, but the guy does make a lot of silly content where he does actually go to like supermarkets overnight and stuff like that. But in this instance, there was a person that was messing with him and following him, and he was smoking, so you constantly saw his cigarette just in the distance, and just like kind of following him, sometimes running at him, sometimes running away, and it was really bizarre. And in these sites, it's like you're out at night, so in an instance like this, you were in a safer area, being that you were in a well-lit street. But in the instance where you're actually out in the wilderness, you are at the mercy of whatever or whoever's out there.
Yeah. See, this is why I don't like camping.
Oh, I'm not. You will never catch me out camping.
No. First of all, bugs. Second of all, people. Third of all, creatures and cryptids.
Cryptids. All right, we're gonna move on to another one from Real Horror Talk. And this is a weird backroads encounter from 2015. So this could be any number of different things, unfortunately. But I don't know. Let's see what happened in the back roads of 2015.
Normal review. Now, this email contained a video where the writer explains that one night in Colorado, her and her husband were driving down a one-lane back road where they believe they hit a deer. So they stop the car and begin to back up. But while looking through the rear view camera, they see something that to this day they cannot explain.
Hit something. Hope it didn't hurt the car. Somewhere.
Ancient backup
right
camera.
Yeah, that's how you know it's 2015.
Oh my gosh, go.
Now,
We need to look at that
believe
again.
this simply to be a hoax. However, many video analysts have looked at this video and judged the road to be around 12 foot wide. Now, this is important because it can help judge how tall this creature is, which they predict is at minimum 8 foot tall, but many believe that due to the angle of the camera, it could be even taller. You can see the full analysis over on his channel, but let me know, what do you think? In 2015, and the email
to
was sent
me,
how tall this creature is.
This looks like a dude
Important
running at
because it can
them.
help judge.
What is up with the gait of this guy? You know, he's like doing this like weird Matrix arms kind of thing.
We kind of they go over it very quickly during the setup of this clip. But they made it sound like they hit something in the road and they were backing up to see what it was. But of course, the only thing they're recording is this backup camera.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just see this figure running at them, and like you said, doing the Simpsons Mr. Burns is an alien thing.
Yeah.
He's bringing us peace and joy. Get him! Doing that. And
It kind of, the way that he comes out of the dark though is super creepy. It's like he just kind of emerges from the blackness of the distance there. It's really
I like this comment.
Weird.
Could be Mothman trying to hitch a ride back to Virginia. Yeah, this
That's
would
how we got back home.
I mean, in a dark backwoods area, if I saw something approaching me that wasn't just another car, I would be freaked the hell out.
Oh my gosh, go.
Like, yeah, like you said, he just kind of emerges.
Yeah, no. If somebody's running at my car doing the wavy arms, I'm out of there. I'm out of there
Is that it right
immediately.
there?
And also, we only hear one voice in the car.
Oh yeah, it's so weird.
But like, it looks like just a dude. So turning that into
Now, many
this is
people
Bigfoot seems like a real big stretch.
Yeah.
It's just so clear. To me, it's very clear, just a figure. Yeah,
So
why
is she
would they be
implying that she
recording?
hit that guy?
The story was they hit something. They thought it might have been a deer, so they were backing up to look. But at the same time, if you hit something in your headlights were on, which they should have been. So maybe, I mean, that could explain why they're recording it, because the whole, we got to see what we're dealing with. This is the easiest way, so I don't have to get out of my car. So if it's a deer, I can just see, I hit a deer. Insurance claim, please.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
And
because I'm like, why would you record it?
Like that, so that could be a cop out. That's a cop out reason, 100%. But I mean, not wanting to get out of a car at night, so that could easily be it. But how would you have hit? Well, I guess when you hit something with your car, sometimes it does happen really fast. But we don't. I mean, obviously, we don't have the full story, the full context of is there damage to your car? Because if you hit a deer, you might be out of car.
Yes, but also if you hit a man,
you might be out a lot of things.
Yeah. You would still do a pretty large amount of damage to a vehicle hitting a man, I think.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we all saw, I know what you did last summer. Who knows? Maybe this guy is going to come after these people for 3 or 4 more movies. We don't know that.
What is he doing out there in the middle of like nowhere? Like clearly this is like some back road situation.
Yeah, they claim it was Backwoods, but I mean, yeah, we with these things, you really they want you to take it at face value with the lack of context and setting that they give you. So that's the big thing.
Well, could be Bigfoot, could be Mothman, could be
a hoax.
Guy.
However, many video analysts have looked at this
Either way,
video
it's
and
creepy.
judged the road to be around 12 foot wide. Now, this is important
Look
because
at
it
him,
can
he's
help
like,
judge how tall this creature
Yeah, but it looks like he's wearing pants and like a hoodie.
Yeah.
is,
Yes.
which they predict is at
But, like, this is pretty funny. Just
Cutting out
I play my Bigfoot in defense position and end my turn.
Yes.
Oh, that's pretty fun. Pretty fun. Stay off the back roads at night. If you can avoid being on the back roads at night, avoid it. If you can't, then hey, more power to you. But you know those back roads hopefully better than anyone else. All right, now we're gonna move on to one of our favorite channels that likes to teach us all kinds of valuable information that you never know when you're gonna need it in the world, but you know that one day you are gonna need it. And this is the Ministry of Latent Places, who have not uploaded in a little bit. Very unfortunate, but we have plenty of stuff we can go back to and look at. This is the Carnivorous Island. And let's hear what the Ministry of Latent Places has to tell us about the Carnivorous Island.
Carnivorous Island. The following is body cam footage from Vale's Con Up on St. Vincent Island, Florida, released under the Latent Information and Education Act.
Of course,
Oh man, this is fucked. Oh my fucking god! The ministry doesn't pay me enough for this shit.
Cool video game.
This has been a public service announcement from the Ministry of Latent Places.
So the island in St. Vincent, Florida. Oh boy, you might wanna stay out of there, because there's some stuff going on.
I wouldn't recommend going to Florida in the first place, but if you're heading to Carnivorous Island, 0 out of 10, 1 out of 10 would only recommend if you want to see some cool shit and then die. Yeah, you know what I really love about this video though is that it looks like old like that 80s style of animatronics. You know, like
Right,
I'm thinking
yeah.
like Gremlins and like stuff like that, where it just looks like this like super well produced animatronics. I love that.
Yeah, I
love
guess
the
it's
vibe of
clearly
this.
I can't tell exactly like the full scope of how they're doing this, because they were doing this before the AI bubble was a thing. So like, however they're doing it, it's pretty good, pretty well done. But you mentioned Gremlins, so you know we're gonna come back here in a second because we'll have one little special for something that I know you will absolutely adore, that West and I still talk about to this day. But before we do that, let's hear what the ministry has to say about Snears.
Biologists at the University of Alabama have identified a new gastropod species in the Tuscaloosa watershed. The mollusks, unofficially dubbed Snears, feature unique ear-shaped protrusions that appear to function as specialized sensory organs. These auriform structures may serve as advanced detection systems, potentially allowing Snears to sense environmental vibrations from up to 100 meters away. Lens cautions against the amateur collection or consumption of these gastropods, as preliminary reports indicate potential neurosensory effects in mammals. Several documented cases describe vivid auditory hallucinations following contact with the organism's mucus secretions. Experimentation suggests that Snear physiology may allow for the chemical encoding of audio information within their protein structures. Due to Commonwealth security concerns, ministry intelligence officials have secured all research data from the university to prevent exploitation of these unique organisms for surveillance or espionage purposes. This has been a public service announcement from the Ministry of Latent Places.
So the Snears are spies?
The Snears are snappies.
Man, we gotta be worried about birds. Now we gotta be worried about Snears. God,
Yeah, I mean,
government.
Reagan killed all the birds and replaced them with Snears. Oh, it's pretty good, pretty powerful.
I love the idea of Snears. I really do. I kind of want one. They were zooming too. Did you see how
They
fast
were
they were
zooming.
moving?
They were moving, so that's definitely a big difference between a regular snail and a Sneer.
Yeah,
the
if you see a snail with an ear and it's zooming, you got yourself a Sneer.
Yeah, well, I mean, fortunately, it was in the Tuscaloosa, Alabama watershed, so we might not have to worry about that. But you know, there is one thing that you realistically would need to worry about. And this is going to be a little bonus repeat of something we've seen before. But I think this harrowing creature does need to be explained a little bit.
Little guys. These little guys have been spotted sneaking through homes in Bartlesville, Oklahoma. Using the cover of night, little guys are known to break into residences with the sole intent of rearranging the belongings of the occupants. Upon completion of their midnight mission, little guys retreat into walls, floorboards, and ventilation systems to rest and wait for residents to wake. It is thought that little guys gain sustenance from the confusion of humans. As occupants become increasingly baffled by the misplacement of their property, little guys become energized and prepare to target another household. Once fully rested, they promptly relocate and the mischievous cycle is continued. Little guys are notoriously difficult to spot and even harder to capture untrained. Seen here stopped in their tracks, little guys will almost always freeze if they sense detection. This behavior is thought to be a poorly developed defense mechanism. This has been a public service announcement from the Ministry of Latent Places. Little guys.
I love the little guys. I love them so much. Oh my god. I
knew
wish
you
they
would
would
enjoy that
visit
one.
me.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be in Oklahoma for that one.
Oh my
And,
god, catch me
and-
moving to Oklahoma right now.
We've heard of underpants gnomes, and now we have the little guys.
I love them. They are so, look at their eyes. They're so cute. It would be kind of low-key terrifying though if I'm like, I get up from bed, I go to the bathroom, there's just like a little guy like, oh.
And they're gonna displace your things, and they feed off of a confusion of humans, so they're like energy vampires.
I would be very confused if I saw one. That's for sure.
When we were playing Home Safety Hotline, like some of the little gremlin guys that were the hobs. These are very
Yes.
hob adjacent. These are
Yes,
very hob
these are
adjacent.
very hob adjacent.
But it's oh, little guys. All right, well that's
no,
all we're gonna
punting
see.
one of those if I turn around to see one. No, don't punt them. Look how cute.
Oh man,
No.
yeah. Home Safety Hotline. If you love stuff like what you see in latent places, something like Home Safety Hotline is incredible. And myself, Rissa, Westphal, and even Doyle got to hop in on the Home Safety Hotline, and we ensured that the homes were safe, and we
Yes,
got
we did.
promoted. I think.
Yes.
I think that was a promotion at the end. It's hard to tell.
Well, yeah. Yes. There was a celebration.
It was a celebration, so there is job growth.
I would recommend those games. They're really fun.
All right, we are gonna hop to our final series of shorts for the evening, and this is first off, this comes from the channel The Skin Stealer, and this is kind of gonna go into the theme for what we're gonna be covering tonight. This is welcome to Shadow People caught on camera. For anyone who doesn't know what shadow people are, we will be talking in great detail about exactly what shadow people are, what the deal is. But at a quick glance, a shadow people, if you see a shadowy figure at night when you know you're all alone or if there isn't something actually there, that is a shadow pit person, and there is a large subset of people that genuinely believe that, hey, that's a real thing. Or that's not just my brain playing tricks on me. That's an entity. Well,
You've
let's
had
see what
some
happens.
encounters with shadow people, right?
I have, and we will definitely talk about that tonight.
Nice.
As part of what we're going to be going into. But let's see these examples of shadow people caught on camera. Which, in itself, shadow people shouldn't be able to be caught on camera, realistically. But hey, you know what? Whatever. We're having fun. This is shadow people caught on camera, and it's muted. I have a lot of censoring work to do today.
Oh.
This is really creepy. Watch. The light is on in the living room. I turn off the light. Watch what happens next. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Oh.
A silhouette appears in front of me.
Alright, tell me I'm on fucking crack. Every time I turn off the light, there's like a shadow there. Watch. You see that?
Oh, yeah.
Fuck. What the fuck? Tell me I'm not on fucking crack, dude. Hell no. What the fuck, dude? I'm out of here.
So, y'all have been following my polter diaries here lately. So I'm pretty sure there's something standing in the doorway to the break room. Am I crazy, or is that somebody standing there? I don't... Do y'all see that?
Why? Coming through the kitchen here. Say hi, Bernard. He never lets me talk. And then I see that. And this is the third time I've come through, and this is exactly how I see them. 3 times now. I think
I'm like fucking scared. There's no one standing there, but there's a silhouette, like a shadow of...
Oh, I've seen this clip before. That clip is like 20 seconds
it's
longer.
still there.
Okay. What's happening with the lights? Because I'm looking
The lights are...
hallway, and I can't see, like, I literally see nothing.
The lights are off right now. Oh, it just moved. It just moved.
No, it did not.
It just moved. It just moved.
I just heard a weird...
I did not see what he's talking about.
Dude, it just moved.
Oh, right there.
Oh.
I was getting
I was
ready to
looking in
go
the wrong
back.
window.
I was getting ready to go back.
The dogs are ready for bed. It's just a peaceful night here. Get ready to go to bed myself. What the fuck is that? What? Oh, God! Fuck!
Oh.
Нету. Нет.
Oh, silly Russian boys.
Он двигается.
Oh, that's creepy.
All right, so that's
this first one though.
Yeah, the shadow
This
people caught on camera. Yeah, the first one. This is a pretty silly one. Some of those were pretty silly. Some of them were kind of, like all the homies chilling on the couch. That was definitely something. We've been talking about doing this for a long time. Mostly myself and Wes. I know Wes wanted to do a write-up for an essay style write-up for skinwalkers. I've been talking to death about shadow people because it's just such an interesting concept to me. Just the idea behind it, the fact that people really put a lot of stock and faith in this concept. So for the first time ever, we've created a big document full of the history, different explanations, and all kinds of good stuff involving shadow people. So join us for our first ever Into the Macabre doc, The Silhouette in the Corner, a deep dive into shadow people. So see this, you're lying in bed at night, right at the edge of sleep, when suddenly you see it, a flicker of movement, a patch of darkness that somehow manages to be blacker than black, standing perfectly still against the wall, just out of your line of sight. By the time you turn your head, it's gone. And we also had, accompanying this, we do have a quick little clip a quick little 10-second clip, just to accompany this real quick, give us something to help visualize. And this is someone supposedly having an example of a shadow person. It's as simple as that, just that shadow that is moving around just out of sight, and before you know it, it's gone. And that is, at the highest level, that is a shadow person. But what exactly is a shadow person? The shadow person is one of the most pervasive paranormal phenomena in human history. Unlike ghosts, which are often described as translucent or human-like, shadow people are opaque, two-dimensional voids that defy the laws of light and optics. Typically seen at night, however, shadows can be cast at any time. Shadow people are the only logical explanation possible for why you saw that dark object scurry across the surface when you believed you were alone. Optical illusion and brain tricks aside, you probably know someone that has experienced one of these, or maybe you have yourself. There might be more reasons to it than meets the eye. And Rissa, you said you're the only person you know that hasn't experienced a shadow person.
So, not entirely accurate. I do feel like I have seen shadow people, but specifically, and I know we're going to be talking about him here in a little bit, but specifically, I have not experienced the Hat Man.
And after writing this doc, I feel like I might have actually experienced the Hat Man as a kid, but we'll talk about that when we get down to, we're going to be reading a bunch of testimonials, and we have a few more clips loaded in the chamber, so we are going to really get into some fun here in a moment. But Rissa, you said the Hat Man, so what does he have to do with shadow people? Do you want to categorize the shadow people?
Yeah, so while descriptions vary, researchers, witnesses, and online shit posters generally categorize these entities into 3 different archetypes. The first one being the lurker. This is the most common variety, a humanoid shape that peeks around corners, stands at the foot of the bed, or lurks in a distant doorway. These are often described as non-aggressive, but intensely observant. So just your standard shadow person, just kind of there. Then we've got the man of the hour, the Hat Man. This is a specific and popular recurring figure, and he typically wears a wide brim hat, often a fedora or like a top hat, and sometimes a trench coat. But interestingly, reports of the Hat Man are consistent across cultures that don't even wear that style of clothing. So the Hat Man is a very specific type of
and
shadow
people
person.
And like it's part of that, the reason why you would say you see them in cultures where they don't dress like that. It's because people in those cultures do see a person that you can be described like that. So the whole idea is, no, trust me, bro, I didn't know this thing was a thing, but I saw it. That's really cool.
Yeah. And then the third one is the red-eyed shadow. Now, this one's often associated with a feeling of pure malice or like a heavy feeling in the air. These are frequently linked to more malevolent interpretations of shadow people, such as demonic presences or even a jinn, hence the glaring eye color. So this one's Angie shadow person.
An evil shadow person that does, in fact, want to get you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's really cool that the idea that there's so many different interpretations and takes on shadow people. Like in that clip we just saw where it was moving so quickly, that would have been a lurker. But in cases like a lot of stories, including my story, you know, maybe that was a hat man or even possibly a red-eyed shadow, but who knows, you know? Let's go take a quick brief look into a history of the unseen. The term shadow people was originally popularized in the early 2000s, credited mostly to paranormal researchers as well as online shit posters, but the actual concept is far from new and can be tracked back to ancient times. Maybe these paranormal presences have been present with us all along. Such as in ancient Egypt, the kaibut, which translates to shadow, was considered one of the 7 parts of the human soul, a literal representation of a person that could exist independently. So think about your shadow is its own separate being from you, which there's also a lot of, I remember like old like Tom and Jerry style cartoons or old Looney Tunes where that was a thing, where the shadow, sometimes you would see shadows being their own little presence. So that's, hey, Egypt did it first.
Is that similar to like a ghost, I guess, where it's like the soul of a person, but it's in shadow form rather than like ghost form?
Right, and that's how I would interpret it. I'm not much of a ancient Egyptian historian, but that is definitely a take on it. There's also the Islamic theology, where the jinn are described as beings created from smokeless fire, who can take the form of shadows to interact with the physical world. Once you got to deal with them in phasmophobia, nobody really wants to do that. No. They were dicks.
I hate jinns.
And then, of course, there's just lots of folk horror, where various different shadowy creatures in ancient folk horror. If they did include ancient folk horror, did include stories that culminated into the legend of the old hag, for example, a creature that would sit on a sleeping person's chest. That's definitely something that's coming for you. I mean, that's something you would tell your kids about. Oh, go to sleep, or the old hag's gonna sit in your chest and you won't be able to. You're not gonna be able to breathe. Something like that. Because of a long history of shadow people throughout the ages, a number of paranormal researchers believe that these entities are interdimensional travelers who use our world as sort of a transit point. Others believe they may have always been here among us. Sus. And I'll talk about this one a little bit. So there are plenty of scientific explanations for shadow people, and a lot of them check out, kinda, sorta, or maybe they're cope. I don't know. While often believed to be supernatural by the would-be believers, the skeptics would urge you to look at the brain. Science does offer what would be considered a more compelling, if less spooky, explanation for why we see these figures, such as the most common one being sleep paralysis, this is the most cited cause of seeing shadow people. During REM atonia, the body is paralyzed to prevent acting out dreams, but the mind wakes up. The brain, sensing a threat it cannot move away from, hallucinates a shadowy intruder to justify the fear response. A whole new perspective to, hey, trust me, bro. And then there's also pareidolia. The human brain is hardwired to find faces in human shapes in random patterns, such as shadows on a curtain. That one's also really interesting. And then there's also just infrasound, sound frequencies below 20 hertz, often caused by things such as industrial fans or even pipes, can cause the human eyeball to vibrate, creating peripheral phantoms or gray blobs in the corner of your eye.
That's interesting. I've actually never heard of that before.
Science can try as hard as it wants to justify why we see what we see, but we know exactly what's going on. And we know that guy who might not actually be there is definitely watching us. And it's not Santa Claus. But that's some interesting things. Like basically the first 2 points that I mentioned, it's the brain. Oh, and this is something that you hear in science all the time, where the brain wants to be able to explain everything going on, and wants to be able to see something and come up with a reason for why, which is why, I mean, you see it in movies all the time, and you've probably had it happen to you too, where there was an object, like maybe a coat rack at night, and you thought that could have been a person. Mm-hmm. And I've had that, and you might have had that as well.
I've definitely had that. I've never experienced sleep paralysis. That's something that I don't have any experience with. But the second one that you mentioned, what's it called? Pareidolia. Right. I think I might have a little bit of that. Like if it's dark, you're in a dark room and you're kind of like eyes open looking around the room, it's really easy to mistake things around the room for people, faces, figures, right?
Well, even if,
that's happened to me a ton.
Even if you wake up in the middle of the night and something that is there, like your dresser, you can mistake it for something else just because your brain is waking up and you're not completely all there. Your brain sees something and then immediately mistakes it for a threat, and so it autofills. It just autofills. Hey, it's this, and then when you kind of get back to it, you realize, oh, it's not that. That's definitely really interesting, and yeah, like you said, I've never experienced sleep paralysis, but definitely, I mean, linking these two theories together definitely can help explain a lot, and just the idea that the brain is always trying to explain what's happening around you, it definitely helps to understand that. And I feel like I've seen like gray blobs in the corner of my eye before. Maybe it is related to infrasound. I don't know. Sometimes you got like those little sleepies in your eye, and you're seeing things. So you know, it could be any number of things. So combine all three, and you're just kind of screwed.
Yeah, the eyeball vibrating, creating like peripheral phantoms, that's crazy. I've never heard of that before, but I mean, it makes sense that if your eyeball is vibrating, that you'd be able to like see weird stuff that you don't normally see.
Yeah, I mean, or maybe it's just all cope.
Maybe it's the Hat Man.
Yeah, maybe it's the Hat Man. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about the Hat Man, Rissa?
Yeah, well, this wouldn't be much of a deep dive into shadow people if we didn't talk about this guy. So the Hat Man, he's often considered the celebrity of the shadow person world. While standard shadow people are typically vague and fleeting, the Hat Man is terrifyingly specific and structurally consistent across thousands of unrelated reports. Now, there's a correlation between the Hat Man and normal shadow people, with some factors clearly setting him apart. The Hat Man is a specialized subset of shadow person. If standard shadow people were to be considered the static on a television, then the Hat Man would be a high definition broadcast. So he's like very specific. His physicality, unlike the standard shadow people who often appear as like 2D flat silhouettes like your standard shadow, the Hat Man is frequently described as having volume and mass, almost like a real person's in the room. Witnesses often report him blocking out light or physically walking through a room rather than just flickering in the periphery. And then what he normally wears, the wide-brimmed hat, usually a fedora or a top hat, a long trench coat or cape, are universal identifiers. This specifically is considered a glitch in the standard psychological explanation of pareidolia. But while the brain might easily mistake a coat rack for a person, it's much harder to explain why thousands of people see the exact same 1940s style silhouette or figure.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's kind of wild how like different cultures see the same thing, which makes me wonder, is he real?
Yeah, that's what's supposed to poke holes in the idea of pareidolia, where your brain's autofilling, but why is it autofilling to that same thing?
Right.
The same thing that everyone sees. Coat. It's like that movie where everyone saw, what was it, Nick Cage in their dreams? It's like that.
I hope I never see Nick Cage in my dreams.
Well, would you prefer to see Nick Cage in your dreams or the Hat Man?
Probably the Hat Man.
Okay.
I hate Nicolas Cage. I'm sorry, Nick Cage, if you're watching this.
I feel like I would take Nick Cage. I mean, hey, Wally's Wonderworld was pretty good. He didn't talk in that one.
Yeah, I literally was just going to say that one's the best because he doesn't say anything.
Yeah, but it's the whole idea on why you describe it, because like we saw in that clip, you have it was just vague kind of fleeting shadows that were explained to be shadow people, whereas this subcategory, it's a dude. That's a dude.
Right. Yeah, and he's a dude. He's like an actual person. Like, people describe him as being a person, like walking through the room, which is much different than just seeing a shadow. I feel like I've had maybe an experience, like now that we're talking about like an actual person, like I feel like I have seen a person, but I don't know that I can say that it was the Hat Man because I don't remember a hat or a coat, but I don't know.
Yeah, do you want to talk about some of the behavioral differences between the Hat Man and regular shadow people? Because this is also pretty interesting.
Yeah, the Hat Man, he exhibits a personality that differs from the erratic behavior of common shadow entities. But while these traits aren't necessarily exclusive to either category, they're both quite common for each. A standard shadow person can be fleeting and only seen for seconds, whereas the Hat Man's presence can be prolonged for minutes. Standard shadow people are frequently seen in corners, along hallways, or just periphery views, whereas the Hat Man is much more common to be seen in doorways or at the foot of the bed. The standard shadow person will typically disappear when looked at, where the Hat Man often stares back at you or will remain still. Standard shadow people also seem to have an aura of confusion or a mild startle, where the Hat Man commonly seems more intense with a feeling of crushed dread or malice.
So already, and again, these, like Rissa mentioned, these are not exclusive to either thing. Like the shadow of a typical shadow person isn't always going to just be fleeting. That can also occasionally be kind of staring back. The Hat Man isn't always going to just be chilling for a couple minutes. Maybe that'll be like a quick cursory glance. So they're not exclusive, but they are quite common with those. And this is the part where I realized in my shadow person story that I told last time, maybe that was the Hat Man. And we'll definitely go over that again. But definitely a feeling of crushing dread or malice, like, because when you see what you're interpreting it as a person, you're looking at them and they're looking back, that's horrifying. Yeah. It's like, you're in your house, brother. You're supposed to be safe right now.
I'm imagining myself laying in bed, cozy. All of a sudden, just this feeling comes over me and just wake up, right? Open my eyes. And there is a man standing at the foot of my bed, staring right back at me. How horrifying.
Yeah, that's I mean, just the idea that something can be in your house with you that isn't supposed to be there, whether it's a burglar or an intruder or a shadow person, that is very off-putting and not something you want to be.
Totally not related to shadow people or the Hat Man, but the feeling of dread and something not being supposed to be in your house. I watched this documentary the other day called Wrinkles the Clown. Do you know about Wrinkles the Clown?
Tell me all about Wrinkles the Clown.
Okay, Wrinkles the Clown is a man, and he advertises his services to parents around the area. This is in Florida, surprise, surprise. And basically, he dresses up as this horrifying clown with a scary-ass mask, and he offers his services to parents of children who misbehave. So when the children misbehave, they call up Wrinkles the Clown, and Wrinkles will come over to the house and pre-plan a scare. And the way that the documentary opens is just a video camera that's focused on this child's bed. This child is sleeping in bed, and it goes on for a couple minutes. And after about a minute of just looking at this child sleeping, you see the bottom drawer underneath this bed. It looks like a storage drawer for like clothing or linens or whatever. Slowly starts to open, and Wrinkles the Clown is laying in this bed, And then he slowly sits up and he looks at the kid. And the kid kind of like sits up for a second because it hears something, but it's dark in there. And the kid's like, oh, I guess nothing. Rolls over. And then Wrinkles the Clown slowly stands up and then puts a little like stuffed animal near him and then turns around, walks to the camera and shuts the camera off. And I don't know why, but when I was thinking Hat Man waking up, seeing something that's not supposed to be there, I instantly thought of this moment and just how terrifying it would be in any context to see something that's not supposed to be there, right? You don't know if it's real or not.
Absolutely. And
also, isn't that like child abuse?
It should be. It absolutely should be. I mean, I think depending on the state, you could definitely get a visit from Department of Child Services. But
somebody call CPS on that, man.
And we are having chat corroborate that as well. Yeah, it does sound pretty wild. So that's that could definitely be. Hey, you know what? If that's not going to make, you're definitely going to be seeing shadow people after that. All right, but we did have a comment in chat that referred to the Hat Man as Mr. Benadryl. And that's because there might be a modern correlation of that. One of the most bizarre modern developments in the Hat Man lore is his connection to DPH, diphenhydramine, the active ingredient in Benadryl. In high doses, DPH acts as a deliriant, and the Hat Man has become a staple of a DPH trip, which creates a bridge between paranormal folklore and neuropharmacology. Boom, nailed all those words. And just outside of Benadryl, it's just like any kind of drowsy medication. Not necessarily just Benadryl, but Benadryl. Obviously, a lot of kids get fed Benadryl. And
I've heard of people who take Ambien sometimes will get like those auditory and visual hallucinations at night. Like if they are like kind of drifting off, or if they can't sleep and they take this stuff, it can cause hallucinations.
Yeah, and NyQuil as well. Like anything that has active drowsy ingredients within it, anything that makes you more drowsy, because that makes you more susceptible to, a quote unquote trip, because you are essentially tripping out. So being under those effects, you are more likely to have, if you're subject to these kinds of experiences, those can definitely help incur them a little bit more. So a chemical trigger and high doses of certain drugs disrupt the brain's ability to process visual input, specifically in the regions responsible for human recognition. Again, that's drowsy. That reason for why drowsy medication is what it's doing to you. The consensus hallucination. Skeptics argue that the Hat Man is a socially contagious hallucination. Users would read about him on forums and then project him during their trip. However, there are still many accounts from people who had never heard of him before they had an experience. So the idea is that people who may be hallucinating, they're only hallucinating it because they think they're projecting that because they read about the Hat Man. They read about all these copy pastas and things, and that's why they're seeing them. But then what about the people that never did hear about those things and they're also seeing it? Is this character so generic that that's why it just appears as a shapeless, formless guy in a hat? A little unclear.
It's just interesting that everybody sees the hat and the coat, or the hat and the cape. That's the thing that's interesting to me. Not as much as people are seeing like a man kind of standing there. That makes sense. But like specifically this man.
And that's the whole theory as to why this has any level of credibility at all. It's because everyone just keeps seeing and reporting the same thing. Granted, it may not be one-to-one the same, but it's still vaguely the same. And how are you going to remember what you were seeing when you were kind of just really groggy at night? But shadow people have had a pretty shadowy impact. A tale as old as time, these shadowy creatures have been spotted throughout all of recorded history. The phenomenon of shadow people is still largely kept alive through first-hand accounts that share strikingly similar details, even if a witness had no prior knowledge of this mysterious legend. These accounts span across movies, TV shows, online stories, and that one guy everyone just can't stop talking about. There are also a number of official studies and reports that try to get to the bottom of this mystery. And there are a number of some pretty popular pieces of media. I don't know if you want to take this section real quick to go over, these some popular media.
Shadow people transitioned from just stories to being a staple of the big screen. Whether you realize it or not, you may already be a fan of shadow people. So the first example of this is one of my favorite movies, The Babadook. Maybe you've heard of him, gay icon. Perhaps the most famous modern cinematic representation of a Hatman-style shadow entity representing grief and trauma.
Babadook's absolutely a Hatman.
Yeah,
the more you think about it, he's definitely a Hatman.
Yep. Another one is the Crooked Man, another Hatman-style entity made popular from The Conjuring 2, which released in 2016. And this depicts a more malicious, shadowy apparition.
So while the Crooked Man, I would definitely label the Crooked Man as a Hatman, but also maybe he could be the red-eyed one, the red-eyed apparition. Because the Crooked Man was definitely trying to get you. He had that song and everything.
Yeah, I think he would fall under that category easily. Another example is The Twilight Zone, and some early episodes often played with the idea of the others watching us from the darkness. Now, I'm not familiar with this one, so I don't know.
I've seen a little bit of this in some older media, just clips used, where the idea of shadowy, more or less shadow people, but more unseen figures watching you as if you're the subject of something. So like right now, imagine, the glitch of a Matrix happened, you turn around and you just saw an audience of figures staring at you. And that's the idea.
Okay. Sounds creepy. And then probably more maybe like mid-2000s, internet copypasta, the Slender Man, is a direct evolution of the shadow person mythos, a tall, faceless, suited figure that exists on the edge of sight, always watching, always seeking. That man, he'd be creeping.
He gets around. My favorite was Marble Hornets. Did you watch Marble Hornets?
I didn't, actually.
Oh, I think, so there was a lot, like you said, in the mid-2000s, there was a lot of internet series that started kind of investigating about, diving into the Slender Man, and like the biggest breakout one was Marble Hornets. And they actually just tried to do a revival recently, which was a direct sequel to their original finished work. And I think it just went on hiatus again to probably try to make everything seem like it has a realistic timeline, but it's a very strong work, and it's a very strong depiction of the Slender Man and just the things that he can do, and it's really interesting. There's other cool ones, like Everyman Hybrid, which was like a more dude bro, we're gonna go hunt the Slender Man. But definitely, I actually have the first 2 seasons of Marble Hornets on DVD because I can't say enough good stuff about the earlier iterations of Marble Hornets.
I should check that out.
Oh yeah, I would definitely do a watch party of Marble Hornets again at some point. But now we are at some testimonials. There are witness accounts from prominent paranormal databases and research archives, as well as Reddit, that do give us some firsthand accounts of different encounters with either shadow people or the Hat Man. And we could probably bounce back and forth on this. So the Bedroom Watcher, so from an archive called the Shadow People Research Project. This account is, I woke up around 3 a.m. Not because of a noise, but because of a feeling that the room was full. I looked toward the corner and there was a silhouette of a man. It was darker than the rest of the room, like a hole cut out of the night. It did not have eyes or a face, but I knew it was looking right at me. I tried to scream, but I couldn't move a muscle. After what felt like an eternity, it simply glided across the wall and vanished into the closet. That sounds like a mix of sleep paralysis and a Hat Man.
Yeah, I literally was just going to say that.
Now, I feel like we're playing Phasmo now, because now we're identifying the different archetypes of shadow people.
Is that Hat Man or is it Shadow Person?
Right. Did the EMF go off?
Yeah. All right, this one is a testimonial from Your Ghost Stories database, and this one's called The Hallway Peeker. I was sitting on my couch scrolling through my phone when I saw movement in the hallway out of the corner of my eye. I assumed it was my roommate, so I called out. No answer. I looked up and saw a head and shoulders peeking out from behind the door frame. It stayed there for a full 5 seconds. When I stood up to investigate, it pulled back behind the wall. When I got to the hallway, it was empty, and the front door was still dead-bolted.
It's pretty crazy. I mean, ultimately, these all boil down to, no, trust me, bro, this happened. And maybe, I mean, it could always be a dream, because sometimes your dreams bleed into reality where you could swear it happened. And sometimes, oh, maybe you were visited by a visitor. Who knows?
When it says it pulled back behind the wall, I just imagine the Homer Simpson meme where he just like disappears into the shrubs behind him. That's how I imagine the shadow person just like disappearing.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, and that's how they would disappear.
Yeah.
And for a submission to Coast AM, we have the Hat Man Encounter. I didn't see a shadow. I saw a person. He was wearing a trench coat and a very distinct wide-brimmed hat. He was standing right over me. There was no flicker or transparency to him. He was solid black. The most terrifying part wasn't that he was there, but the absolute sense of dread he radiated. It felt like the air had been sucked out of the room. Which that is very... Oh, yeah, go on, sorry.
Yeah. No, I was just imagining like that physical feeling of just dread that they must have felt, if true. Because that sentence, it felt like the air had been sucked out of the room. I don't know if you've ever been that scared, but I have been so scared where it just feels like suddenly I just don't have air.
Have you ever seen Gerald's Game?
No. Man,
it's on Netflix. It's pretty solid. It was originally a Stephen King book, and it was, of course, it was another Mike Flanagan doing a Stephen King book as a movie, which that already tells you there's some good stuff there. And it's a very interesting story, and something very similar to this does happen because, like, basically this woman becomes handcuffed to a bed after her lover has like a heart attack and dies when they were about to be intimate. And then it just turns into, because she's there for so long, she starts imagining things, and you start to question, like, what's real and what's not real. And then something happens where it's like, this thing can't possibly be real. And then by the end of the movie, maybe it is real, maybe it wasn't real, but there is something very similar to this that happens. And I'd say the fact that thing is, she sees that thing, and then the ending of a movie culminating like the answer to what it was, that's the part where it made the movie, like, at first I was like, okay, that's a solid movie, I'll give it a 7, but then when that ending hits, I'm like, that's a 9. That's a 9. That could be a 10 because of just the twist at the end.
And so, I'm gonna put that on my watch list.
That's definitely something worth watching. But I told the story last time, but like when I was at an aunt's, staying over at an aunt's house, and I was in her room, and I don't know what time it was at night. Of course, there was a skylight in the bedroom. It was like it was at this weird condo complex, and the whole house, it was like you have your entrance and the big like living kitchen area, and a long hallway with one room off to the side, and then at the end of the long hallway is the master bedroom, bed just smack dab in the middle against the back wall. And as a kid sleeping there was one night where I could have sworn I saw a person standing in the doorway, and I don't remember much about it because I was like 5 or 6, but that stuck with me for a while of like, oh, that would have been a shadow person. I remember seeing it, and I don't think I had sleep paralysis because I was motioning to it, and I could have sworn it was motioning at me, like kind of like a come over here motion, and I was saying like motioning like no. But I definitely had movement, but of course, like, I wasn't able to, like, at the time I didn't have the urge to say, like, I wasn't compelled to yell or say anything. Probably because it was late.
Did you feel scared in that moment?
Yeah, I think there was definitely fear in the moment, but I don't think that was what was stopping me from yelling. I think I was like more scared of like yelling because it was late at night. And like I knew I was
Okay.
supposed to be sleeping, and I think that was it. So it was definitely a lot of different brain things. But that's like my one experience with a Hat Man type. And I don't remember much about it physically, but I just remember it being a figure and it was motioning.
Mm-hmm.
And of course,
Wow.
like nothing was, the house was fine in the morning. There's no signs of anything weird had happened. So that's just another example of that. But now we're going to move over to some Reddit specific stories. And if you want to touch on the Observer.
This one's called, this one's like the observer in the room. So a common thread across top posts is the feeling of being watched by a figure that's darker than the dark. So the first example of this is the static silhouette. So one highly upvoted post in r/paranormal describes an entity whose edges were like scratchy, like a crayon scratchy like a crayon sketch. The user recounted waking up to see one figure standing over them, with several others standing at various distances in the room. That is weird. Like the entity, like the silhouette, looked like somebody like sketched it with a crayon.
Yeah, so that would be like it was a figure, but it wasn't like solid.
Yeah, it's just kind of like cartoon crayon kind of.
Yeah, just like, kind of like a smoky figure.
Yeah,
kind of type of thing floating above you and then just all over the room.
The second example is the peeker. So many users report a specific behavior where the shadow doesn't stand in the open, but peeks around door frames or from behind furniture. A popular thread in r/sleep paralysis describes a figure that would duck away whenever the user looked directly at it, only to reappear in their peripheral vision once they looked back down at their phone or book. That is creepy. When I've had like instances where I have maybe seen shadow people, it's never been like in a peeking situation. It's like I would see like the full figure in my peripheral and then I look and it's gone. You know, it's that kind of thing. But that would be so creepy if you're just like laying in bed reading a book, it's dark, and out of the peripheral vision you see somebody like, "Eep," and then you look and they're gone.
And it's gone. And then you look back down. And that's part of why the scientific cope was, you know, maybe there's a gray blob in the corner of your eye. Maybe you're forming cataracts.
Woohoo! Getting old. It's real fun. Real fun, folks. You just wait.
There's also some multi-witness encounters. Some of the most compelling Reddit posts are those where more than one person saw the entity simultaneously, which users argue rules out simple sleep paralysis, such as the creak bed figure. A top post recounts a group of friends who saw a pitch-black figure standing in a creak bed illuminated by moonlight. Two different members of the group saw the same figure in different spots at the same time, leading to a frantic run back to their dorms. That's pretty crazy. So that's multiple people looking like out a window or looking down by the creek and seeing the same figure, but seeing it in two different places. So that's pretty wacky. There's also a chicken incident. A user shared a story of seeing a shadow man by her bed and hiding under the covers. Her husband immediately woke up and asked her, "Why are you standing there?" mistaking the shadow figure for her. Now that's crazy, because that means both of them saw something?
Yes.
That's like some paranormal activity stuff. Like, holy.
Yeah. Because it's one thing when it's just you, right? But if your partner is also literally seeing the same thing, I don't know. That sounds more real. Like, not just your mind playing tricks on you at that point.
Right. Pretty crazy.
Ugh.
And you want to touch on some interactive and vocal shadows?
Yeah. I did not realize that there were vocal ones, but while most shadow people are silent, some high engagement threads detail more interactive experiences. The tactile shadow, a recent popular post, describes a dreamlike state where a shadow figure sat on the user's bed and physically touched their face, whispering for them to go to sleep. Ah!
Yeah, I'd listen to that guy. Just goes, just go to sleep. At that point, you definitely need to go to sleep because holy.
At that point, you need to, but at that point, you're probably not gonna.
And what if he's really chill and gentle?
Like gently caressing your face, like go to sleep. Oh,
like, hey man, hey, go to sleep, dude.
I mean, it sounds sweet.
And not like the Sam Jackson "Go VF to sleep." Are you aware of that one?
Mm-mm.
Sam Jackson has a bedtime story and an audiobook accompanying it called "Go VF to sleep." And in typical Sam Jackson acting, "Go VF to sleep."
Yeah, that'll put me right to bed. The second one being the animal stride. Another chilling account describes a 7-foot-tall, slender shadow that stepped out of a smoky portal in an open field. The witnesses claimed the figure chased them on all fours with a terrifying stride for nearly 2 miles.
Why is this thing coming through the Dark Souls boss door?
Dude, hell no. 2 miles? Hell no.
If I saw, well, first off, good on you for running for 2 miles. That's a lot. But also, just if a Dark Souls boss door just suddenly appeared in front of me, I ain't going through that. But if something's coming through that for me, oh yeah, no, that's a run. That's a run.
Yeah.
It's like, no, they're
absolutely.
coming. They're definitely coming. I'm not the boss here. No.
Wait, would you go through the portal though if nothing came out? If it was just an a Dark Souls Elden Ring door?
I mean, like if it was like going to work and then suddenly the office door turned into like the smoke fog wall, I'd be like, oh, well, I guess going through the day's a boss fight anyway.
Real.
All right, we got a couple more clips to look at. So here is another shadow person caught on tape. It's hard to tell, but there was something. What if he's fucking?
I'm like, I didn't see it.
There was. We'll look at it one more time. It's hard to tell, but there's something going by on the wall, like you see right there.
Okay. Yeah.
That's all that is. So that's shadow people can be as simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
It can be a little bit more complicated, like this.
So I've been hearing some strange noises coming from this bathroom, and so I'm going to set up this camera to record and see if we catch anything.
We're just catching
I've never
your bad
caught
acting,
anything on
brother.
camera before, so I'm hoping that this
And
might be the first
he's got his
time.
toes out
But
for free. Oh, hell no. Now, that's a mirror, right?
It's a mirror.
Okay.
Yeah, obviously there's a lot of explanations for some of these, because like that's way too much movement for a shadow person.
Yeah.
Way too much movement for a shadow person.
In just a
this
moment,
one,
I'm going to show you not just one.
this
but
this
two
guy has a lot of setup in this clip for some reason. I don't know why this guy's got so much setup in this clip. Don't tell me it's on
videos.
now. There you go.
You have to watch this really quick. It moves by extremely fast. Right there it was. And these videos are about 2 weeks apart. You can clearly see something move from left to right. Here's the next one. You can see it coming up and just there it is. You may have to go back and watch these a couple times. I missed them the first time or two I watched them, but let me know. It moves by extremely fast.
It does. It goes by fast when it triggers the lights.
That's interesting.
And these videos are about 2 weeks apart. You can clearly see something move from left to right. Here's the next one. You can see it coming up and just there it is. You may have to go back and watch these a couple times. I missed.
That's, again, shadow people can be as simple as that. Doesn't always have to be an entity staring back at you. It could be something just super simple. But, you know, in conclusion, shadow people, whether you believe in them or not, are definitely real to whoever happens to be experiencing them. Spawning their own subreddits like r/shadowpeople or even r/hatman, as well as being a popular tag on TikTok, definitely makes it seem like they might not be so uncommon after all. Even if you don't believe in shadow people, one thing you can definitely believe in is that the human brain is truly capable of creating some of the most amazing things you might ever witness, or even the most dreadful. Boom! And that's shadow people. What does everyone think? Does anyone in chat? This is one of a few times we're going to look for engagement. Have you ever experienced a shadow person or something shadow person adjacent? Because I think it's truly a very interesting piece of subject matter, because there's so many people out there that genuinely believe that this is like a real thing. This is like the most more real than ghosts. They're as real as you or I. That there's a whole real subculture with their own politics and economy of shadow people. Imagine a shadow people economy. Let me pay for something with my shadow dollars.
Man,
I'm gonna go to the shadow bank.
What do you think the shadow dollar is backed with?
Yeah, I heard the shadow dollar is a little weak right now.
I've definitely seen some things that feel like shadow people, but I'm not entirely convinced. I am more convinced of like the science-backed theories that it's probably just my brain playing tricks on me, or ocular hallucinations of some kind, or, you know, moments where maybe I was, you know, sick and taking NyQuil and I see some shit, you know, but I don't want to rule it out, because I am a believer in like ghosts, right? And I'm like, if there's historical cultural examples, right? What was it in Egyptian culture, of like shadow people actually being like their own entities, then there's some, I think maybe some validity to that, right? If ghosts can exist, why not shadow people?
Those guys built the pyramids, and we still can't explain those.
Yeah, it might have been shadow people building them.
Yeah, we don't know that.
We don't know.
Explain a few things. Yeah, like after reading about, you know, the medical scientific reasons, yeah, there's definitely something there. There's definitely something there. But that is our deep dive into all things shadow people. I mean, obviously we'll keep looking at clips that happen to involve shadow people in the future. But yeah, definitely submit stories. Yeah, for our first time having like a properly structured document, I think that was pretty cool, pretty neat, pretty awesome. But we got about 20 minutes left to kill, and I have this video that comes from the days of this was actually what was originally next on the docket that Westphal and I used to go off of, and I think it's time we finally hop into this. This is, let's check out for the next remainder of the show. We're gonna be checking out, if this thing wants to load, this is Nuke's Top 5 10 scary videos to creep you out. So we're finally returning to Nuke's Top 5, and Rissa is going to be exposed.
Oh no, Mr. Nuke. Don't expose yourself to me, please. Sorry.
Yeah, Native American culture believed in all sorts of things, and they were more in tune with nature and their surroundings than we tend to be. Absolutely. Absolutely.
A father says that he was busy working in his office one day when his son came running in and seemed very upset. The boy claimed that, quote, a man was moving things in the other room.
Of course, we're back to shadow people again.
Into the living room to find things scattered all across the floor. So
what if it was little guys?
Could be little guys.
This could be little guys.
I immediately thought of poltergeist, but if they're like, oh, a man is moving things around, it could be a little guy. Hob.
Could be yeah.
So he checks his security cam to see just what happened. What he finds chills him to his core.
Oh, Bisbee arrow. Whoa! Look at that. Whoa! Definitely not on a fishing line. Oh no, not the Roomba moving.
The Roomba's moving on its own. Whoa.
Why is the kid chasing it like a dog chasing a dog toy?
He's like, I gotta stop this Roomba. Oh. Wait, is that a Roomba? It looks...
Now it looks like a cat bed.
A pillow?
A pillow. That's definitely a pet
Oh yeah,
bed.
like a cat bed.
Definitely not on a fishing line.
No, definitely not. What is this kid even doing?
This kid's like a cat.
A small toy in a dog bed can be seen sliding across the living room floor all by themselves. The seemingly annoyed little boy rushes over to the objects and even starts picking up the dog bed and throwing it back to the floor in frustration. The dog bed then aggressively slides back towards him, knocking him over. But luckily,
Why is he being like why is he being annoyed at the things moving? Like
he's like, I'll teach you.
I feel like this kid's gonna be like prone to violence in the future. Like that's something I'm more scared of. A little kid being prone to violence. Like this kid's gonna cause to be a bully or something.
Right.
Oh, you move. Oh. Okay, dude.
the little boy lands right on the soft bed. So just what was the boy seeing when he told his dad that, quote, a man was moving things? Could some dark presence be haunting their home? You decide.
Definitely not on a fishing line.
I think it's on a fishing line. Based on how when he threw it and it kind of like bounced over and then immediately bounced back, you could see like the end of the tag kind of pulling. But could be ghost, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, ghost is the only logical explanation.
Obviously, yeah.
I can't think of anything more obvious. Glitches of a matrix.
TikTok user Eddie is parked in front of a Boston pizza restaurant in Fresno, California, when he spots something very weird.
Boston pizza is actually pretty good.
Car that's reflecting on this Boston pizza window. It's a Corvette C8. I seriously don't see that car anywhere. Where's that car? What? Where is that car? Hello, where's that car?
Oh my god.
Where is this car?
In the reflection of the restaurant's window, Eddie sees an orange Corvette C8. But when he looks around the parking lot, it's not there. In disbelief, Eddie posts his video to TikTok, wondering if he might have caught a, quote, glitch in the Matrix. The bizarre footage goes viral, receiving over 2.8 million views. In the comments, viewers repeatedly ask Eddie to go back and film the location one more time.
Okay, we are back at the same parking lot because one of the main comments you guys were saying is go walk up to it. The car is either inside of the pizza parlor or it's a wrap on the window. I don't know. Let's check it out. So I'm walking to it right now. If you look at it actually from this point of view, the reflections look kind of accurate. There's a pizza place. There's a white car reflecting. That's right here. And no, there's like no car in here.
This time the shop window accurately reflects what's right in front of it. The orange Corvette is no longer there. Cut to another video of a supposed, quote, glitch in the Matrix.
Oh, first off, he didn't pan the camera all the way to the left.
Right.
No, left.
That stopped me mid-drink. I was like, no. I'm so scared right now. Me too, honestly.
Oh, man. That's a reach. And I have like got over 2.5 million views and a lot of comments. Yeah, I'm sure half the comments are calling him stupid.
Yeah, he definitely didn't pan his camera all the way. I think that the easy answer to that is that the car was just over there, just out of sight, most likely. I don't know. If stuff is glitching in the Matrix, is it going to be an orange Corvette, or are we doing like, I don't know, future technology?
Oh,
I don't know.
I'm gonna turn around. I'm gonna see other people
Seems
watching.
weird. It just seems kind of weird.
I turn around. I'm gonna see Twitch chat.
Late one night in Nashville, Tennessee, a woman's friends tell her to quickly grab her camera and hurry outside to check out some very bizarre activity going on in the night sky.
Everyone's freaking out.
Moon discharge.
2024. How old is this camera that's making that zoom in sound?
It says 2024.
Yeah. That's
What? What was that? You
Can you hold the camera steady?
I got that. I got that.
The group of friends watch in shock as the moon seems to change colors from green to red, and then suddenly seems to just discharge some kind of electricity. Spectators to the shocking event believe that they witnessed everything from a possible government cover-up, aliens, and of course, maybe even a glitch in the Matrix.
Marvel Rivals reference in chat. The moon haunts you. It's Moon Knight hitting his ult. Right,
but whether it's a glitch, aliens, or maybe just a really good fake, I leave that up to you to decide.
Well, he left it up to you to decide. So what are you deciding?
I think I decide that this is stupid. Because, all right, so this is the year 2024, so it claims, right? And we literally just heard the camera zoom, and then as it zooms, you see in this video that suddenly it goes really high definition, and you can very clearly see this moon, right?
Well, that could also be. I'd be willing to take the cop out of its focusing, but yeah, no, I'm with you.
Right,
so
but when it focuses, it's suddenly very high definition. You can very clearly see the craters of the moon and everything. But my question is, like, why is it so poor quality, fuzzy? Like the resolution is bad up until that point. It just doesn't make sense.
You're suggesting that they're splicing.
Yeah, like look at that. Right.
I just say they're not holding it steady. It is focusing a bit. Yeah, like
but it's so clear, and then the moments leading up to that moment, like as she's like going outside, you know, at like the beginning of the video, I'm like, it doesn't make sense to me. It looks like a camera phone.
Yeah, and then you hear this.
Yeah, and then you hear this. I don't know. If she in fact did capture this.
And they're saying everyone else on the street is outside. Well, how come we didn't see any of her houses or trees or cables?
Then I would, right. It sounds like there's a whole crowd of people out there, and I would think that we'd see at least some of that as she's going out. But if this happened, if this occurred, then it's definitely aliens for sure. I don't know what the aliens want with the moon, but
I mean, have you seen Dragon Ball Z?
Yes. Well, some of it.
This is when Piccolo hit the moon with a special beam cannon.
Yeah, obviously, it's Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what's really happening.
Because he had to stop Gohan from transforming into the Great Ape.
Right.
So
Chat, there's a very clear explanation for this.
Yeah, Piccolo hit the moon with a special beam cannon. Oh.
Yeah.
God, we figured it out. We solved it. All right, Nuke, next.
A glitch in the Matrix. But whether it's a glitch, aliens, or maybe just a really good fake, I leave that up to you to decide.
You know, I would love Nuke's perspective on this, but instead he just keeps leaving it up to us.
Quit letting me decide. I don't like making decisions.
I already have to make enough decisions in life, dude. Like, come on.
Right,
what do you want me to do?
tell me what it is.
Nuke, do you want me to pick dinner next, huh? Also, this is Nuke's top 5, but here we are doing a top 10. Like, oh, come on, dude.
Home. Back in 2015, Candace Gardner and her husband attended a Halloween party at an abandoned and allegedly haunted prison with a dark history.
Just ever done a birthday party there?
A birthday party? I mean, maybe a Halloween party.
Home. Back in 2015, Candace Gardner and her husband attended a Halloween party.
Oh, it was a Halloween party. Okay, I misheard.
Haunted prison with a dark history. It was a huge mistake. Candace says that the entire night at the party, she felt like something was watching her. And ever since that night, strange things have been happening in Candace's home. She now believes that a malicious entity might have followed her home from the old prison. A dark spirit that intends to harm her and her family. Soon after the prison trip, Candace begins to experience unexplained activity in her home. Lights flicker on and off at night while Candace and her husband sleep. Doors in the house open and close on their own. But scariest of all, the spirit begins to aggressively throw objects at Candace.
What was that?
And these frightening incidents continue to escalate, as it seems that the entity wants to seriously hurt Candace.
Oh, not a knife.
Yeah, that one's more dangerous. Also dangerous, just throw it around in general. And damage your knife.
While Candace is sleeping, she starts to wake up to painful, violent attacks, as if some unseen force is roughly grabbing or pulling at her. And she says she caught proof. So late one night, Candace and her husband fall asleep while watching TV on the couch. As the couple sleeps, a CCTV camera in the room captures something absolutely horrifying.
Definitely not her moving her leg.
No. Wouldn't that wake you up?
Good. Is it daytime outside? Because that looks like, I was thinking like a really strong, like, looks like a really strong, like, porch light going on there. Is this daytime?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Kind of seems like a spotlight of some kind, like...
I mean, just couch nap, I guess.
Yeah, they could be in front of a window.
Yeah.
This looks like an apartment of some kind, so...
I mean, they did say couch nap, so, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just... I don't know. It's silly. Huh? I wouldn't classify this as definitive proof, though.
The cat was like, I'm getting the heck out of here.
Yeah, here's her freaking out.
Candace's leg appears to get grabbed and twisted painfully into the air by an invisible force. She wakes
I mean,
up
that
in
would
a
be
panic and
scary
screams
if
for her
that
husband.
happened.
Well, painfully, I feel like I can do that.
Yeah.
You know, like, well, I mean, like, you know, I've been stretching and I can touch my toes. You know, like I can do that. I wouldn't
I
call
don't
that
think I could
painful.
stretch that far, but I have been wanting to get into yoga, so maybe this is just like the very push that I need to start.
Yeah,
that.
this is the wake up call, the haunting.
Yeah. The haunting me into getting healthy.
Yeah, it's like, no, this is how you do it.
To help her,
This is correct form.
grab her leg and pull it back. Eventually, he manages to free Candace's legs from whatever is pulling on it. But poor Candace is left sobbing in pain and fear. Now, I have to say that after watching this footage and hearing Candace's desperate pleas for help, this video is very compelling. But do you believe that a dark entity followed Candace home from the prison and is
I don't
now
think that's
violently
compelling.
haunting her home? Let me know what you think. As for Candace, she says that her family still experiences terrifying paranormal events to this day. We need scary videos, so if you
That's cool.
Now the knife,
2021,
the
an
knife being thrown, I wonder about that.
Yeah, like Vose, I mean, like Vose could definitely, there's a billion ways to stage it, but like throwing a knife around the house for some clicks seems like a little bit extreme.
I just wonder because like at the angle at which she like would have thrown it if she threw it herself,
still experiences
it'd be a lot more obvious if she threw it
paranormal
herself.
Yeah, because there was nothing. Well, I mean, her left arm
You
is
would
out of
see
camera
the-
shot. So
Yeah,
she
but
could
you'd
easily
see,
like
the body move.
Yeah, you would, unless she just did it all with her wrist, which is still pretty dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Like just a little wrist flick, toss the knife back.
Yeah,
like,
that
'cause
would
you could
be
definitely
more dangerous.
Yeah, but hey, I mean, maybe she's good at knife tricks.
What is that picture? Is that her and her husband making out back there?
That looks like a potential wedding photo of her and her husband.
Okay.
That's what I would guess.
Yes.
I mean, they got
I guess you would put that in your kitchen.
This is 20. The camera says 2021. Didn't they say in 2015 that they went to the Halloween party? But now it says 2021. So has this thing been bugging them for a few years?
It did say that it's been haunting them basically ever since.
So it's just finally kind of escalating a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, we give that cheesy happy hour sign above the stuff. Oh man.
Hell or high water.
This will be the last one that we're gonna watch. So we're gonna check out what's going on with Hell or High Water.
Back in August 2021, an unexpected flash flood swept through downtown Omaha, Nebraska. At around 10 p.m., Tony Lou and his two friends are relaxing in his apartment and watching the weather reports about
Tony Lou.
Tony Lou.
the flood.
Tony Lou.
They decide to take the elevator down to have a look at the flooded city streets for themselves. It was a very bad idea.
Let me see your best moose impression. Swimming in the water. Okay, can you please just hurry? Okay, thank you. Shoot. Hold on.
Tony and his friends didn't realize, but the lower levels of the apartment building were completely flooded with disgusting sewer water. As the elevator reaches the lobby, water pours inside, causing the elevator to
Good thing he brought his
malfunction
vape.
and trap them
Yeah, I was gonna say,
inside.
bro's just vaping if it gets hit with the flood. Holy.
Once it got towards kind of my neck, chest, that's when I kind of, like I could possibly die in here.
The water continues to flood in, filling the elevator to the point that the three friends can barely keep their head above water. Tony is panicked and makes an emergency phone call to his roommate, Dalen Stapp, and the roommate hurries downstairs to try to help his trapped friends.
I told him, hey, I'm...
While recording it the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Hands
this
in
is
the air with
this
his
one's
phone
very
up.
clearly real, and I get one to record it just for like record's sake. But at the same time, if your first idea is because like the dude neck deep in water, smiling into the camera, I don't know, man.
I'm gonna die in here if you guys don't come.
Yeah, it wouldn't be my first
We
thought.
went down into about shoulder
That water
deep
looks disgusting, though.
and just
It did say it was sewer water, which in a flood, yeah, it would be sewer water, which that's
Hey,
that's worse. And bro's just going over and smiling like, I'm in poop.
Yeah.
tried pulling it apart with everything because we had to get him out or it could have been fatal.
Tony's roommate Dalen finally manages to pry open the flooded elevator doors to free his friends from what could have been their watery grave. Luckily, they all escape and swim to safety without so much as a scratch. Not surprisingly,
How did they escape?
Tony Lou says that this was the scariest thing that has ever happened to him.
How scary was this?
Honestly, I would say this is number one, the most scariest thing in my life. Yep. Hands down.
Okay, can you please just hurry? Okay, thank you. Shoot.
Watson.
All right. Well, yeah, that's real. That's absolutely that's real. That's when it's real, it's obviously
not
that's
paranormal, but kind of crazy.
But at the same
Kind of
time,
crazy that you're going to be filming through an actual emergency like that.
well, like you see how flooded the outside is. You're like, oh, I'm gonna go down to the lobby and look. What do you think is gonna happen if the building, like, there's water past the doors? Like, I don't know. Like, you don't know the full extent, but it's like, why pursue and try to find out? And then why take the elevator? So, like, to me,
that was dumb.
It's dumb. That whole thing was dumb.
Yeah, I feel like if there's truly like a flash flood situation, there are buildings who are going underwater, right? You've got cars that are underwater. The last thing you want to do is get into the elevator, my dudes. You want to take the stairs. Like, oh, God.
Yeah.
Common sense is not so common.
Hey, common sense is very uncommon, 100%. But, all right, that is going to do it for this episode of Into the Macabre. I hope that we've created a new fear, unlocked a new fear within everybody of shadow people. If you missed the episode and want to catch it again, this will be up on the YouTube channel by the weekend, hopefully by tomorrow or Friday at the latest. Rissa, what do you got going on this week up until the next episode of Into the Macabre?
Yeah, so definitely more fun horror games coming up. So if you're into this kind of thing, I think you're going to really like my channel. I'm at RissaHavok at twitch.tv. I also have a YouTube channel. Currently, we are going to be just finishing up Resident Evil Requiem this week. So hopefully on Sunday, I will be doing that. And then later on, I'm hoping to dive into some of the indie horrors that have just been taking up space in my Steam library. So lots of interesting stuff coming up soon. But make sure you guys subscribe on my YouTube channel. It'd really help. Thank you.
Yeah, maybe you'll see PT on there, because I just remembered that was a thing, and now I'm kind of itching to replay some PT. But over on my side of the fence, we got a lot more Marvel Rivals coming up, including Blood Hunt, Vampire Hunting mode tomorrow. So be here for that. We'll be helping the whole community get through that as quickly as we can, and it'll be a good time. But I appreciate everyone being here and hanging out and chilling with us for the horror. They definitely check out the YouTube channel to catch all previous episodes of Into the Macabre, now featuring RissaHavok as well as a permanent member, which we established that last time, but she was brave enough to come back, so that just reiterates that she's here for good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
brave
all right,
or
everybody.
Stupid. I don't know which one yet.
All right, thank you, everybody. And as usual, if you have things you would like to see us talk about as well, definitely submit stuff to the Discord. We have an Into the Macabre channel on the Discord. Stories, videos, anything. We hope that you guys enjoyed the structured document. That covered a good amount of time, more than I thought it would. But we will see you guys next time. Of course, we'll announce when that will be. And until then, you guys have yourselves a good one or something. All right, bye, everybody.
Bye.